Hello, anyone not still living in the 1970s? We interrupt your day to bring you this announcement. Husker Ninja is in the building. Alright, guys, we are here today with episode number 3 of the NCAA 14 Simulation Dynasty. And we're here still here in season number 1, with Kent State. We got a 3-2 record. We're getting ready to play number 3 Auburn. But first, we have some recruiting to take care of. I remember in preseason we scouted a guy named J.R. Brown. He's a defensive end, 49 overall. We have no interest in signing him, so we aren't going to put any points on him. But you can see Akron actually wants this guy. Yeah, there's someone who's actually offering a 49 overall player a scholarship. And so we're going to see if he actually does go to Akron, but we're not going to put any points on him because he is terrible. Alright, in the meantime, we got some scouting to do, so let's get to it. 63, that's not terrible. I think we need a center. And so that would not be a terrible option for filling a positional need at this point where we're at in the Dynasty. We also have a Sean Potts. 63 carrying is less than ideal, but 92 speed, 73 break tackle. I mean, there's some stuff to work with here. And he's a gem, 71 overall. We could definitely work with this. Doesn't want playing time. He could come in redshirt for a season. Alright, Sean Potts, that's definitely someone I think we gotta at least try and go after. Dave Pitts, not too bad, we can work with that. Todd Culp, oh boy. Todd Culp, I want this guy. Alright, we'll dump points into him, see how this battle goes, I suppose. I also have Jerome Anderson. Alright, nothing too shabby here. Chad Mullins is pretty good. And we got lots of options. Andrew Fowler. Just to get ourselves hopefully in the door on some of these recruits. We're going to call it good here. I'm going to sit in the week, and I will see you guys in week number 8. Alright, so you can see we pick up another commitment here. Looks like we got a commitment from Randy Johnson, our second fullback. That'll give us some more points to use. James Bain, someone we had to give up on pretty early. He commits to Toledo. And Nicholas Wilson, still very sad that he locked us out a couple weeks ago, but we're going to see where he ends up going. Alright, so we put up a pretty good fight against Auburn, but we do lose 25-13. We had a 10-0 lead after 1 and a 10-9 lead at halftime. But we just could not consistently really get anything going, it looks like. Holly didn't have a great game. Rushing wise, meh. Yeah, it is a very meh game. But that is okay. Let's see if there are any standouts on defense. Jones had a couple tackles for loss. And that's really it. And we have a bye week, so there won't be any games to report, but I'll be back with recruiting for week number 9. Oh, alright. So, Todd Culp, somehow Western Michigan is able to jump everybody all the way to the top, and we're still lagging a little bit behind, but to this point, no one else has offered a scholarship. We're also going to have to keep an eye on Auburn. They could be looking to get in the race here in a little bit. So we'll have to keep an eye on that race. We are still in the battle for Robert Wallace. We did not get locked out. That is always good news. Aaron Moore, Eastern Michigan, continuing to creep up. Unfortunately, that one's looking like it'll probably end up in the off season. And no one else going after Sean Potts yet. That is a plus to me. Joe Ralph, I mean, we're still dropping, but we'll see what happens when we have our visit. Mullins will keep at 300 for right now. Things are looking pretty good there. Dave Pitts, we will bump up to 150, I suppose. Jerome Anderson, we are continuing to climb up. We'll bump him up to 150 as well. Jenkins, yeah, we're still doing fine with no points on him. That's good enough for me. I need a guard still, so I'm going to bump Brown up to probably 300. This is try and help us get there. Motley, we're dropping down now. There's the scholarship offer from Nebraska City, and so we're probably not going to get him. And it may be time to drop out of the discussion now. Gallagher will put the final 500 points into then. And we do have a couple people ready for a visit. They're the pair of 62 overall quarterbacks. I'll put Workman week 12 just to give us an extra bonus with Wallace. And we'll put him week 9. Or week 11. It doesn't really matter. And I'm not too concerned about landing either one of these guys. And Nicholas Wilson, right now he's got Pitt in the lead, and it's looking like it'll probably end up being Pittsburgh who he ultimately commits to. So I will let you know once we have reached his decision. But for right now, we're getting ready to play Buffalo, and so I'll be back with Week 10. Alright, so you can see we did take care of business against Buffalo. We dropped them to 3-5. We improved to 4-3. Buffalo scored 28 points in the second quarter, but nothing else. And it's a 37-28 victory for us. Just apparently a very offensive game. We had 446 yards of offense. They had 332. Passing yards, we had 262. They had 264. We both had 4 turnovers, including 3 lost fumbles and a pick. Hawley went 23 of 34, 262 yards, 2 scores, 1 interception. And then Hawley also had 108 yards on the ground. Our running backs both chipped in a touchdown, and White had 11 catches for 128 yards and 2 scores. So that is pretty impressive. Not much in the way of straight-up tackles. We had quite a few tackles for loss, though. We had 2 sacks, it looks like, because there's 4 people who had credit for half a sack. The interception went to Foster. Cunningham had a forced fumble, and McKay, Foster, and Alexander all had fumble recoveries. So Foster had an interception and a fumble recovery. That is a pretty good game, if I do say so myself. And kicking-wise, Hines went 3 for 4. Not good, but, well, not great, but also not terrible. Alright, so Todd Cole, we are still the only scholarship offer on right now. They have us losing ground to Western Michigan, so we'll have to keep an eye on what they do. If they offer a scholarship, it might be difficult for us. But if they continue to not offer any scholarships, after a week or two, we could start to gain some ground, and so we're far from out of this battle. We're going to try and steal a talented tight end out from under all these Power 5 schools' noses. Wallace, we just have to be able to hold on until our visit. There's nothing more to say about that. We just have to hold on until our visit comes. And then we can hopefully get back into it. But right now, there's nothing else we can do. More Eastern Michigan continuing to climb. I have a feeling this battle will go to the off season. Sean Potts, we are the only scholarship offer, and we are in the lead now. Really, his only weakness was carrying. He could use a bit better acceleration, but it's not like awful. 82 is just not great, but it's not terrible either. And he does have 92 speed to pair with that, so I don't know. I feel like it'll balance each other out a little bit. Josh Ralph, we are making a climb on now. We have gone up 5, and our visit is not this week, but next week, I believe. So Josh Ralph, we may still have a chance at yet. Chad Mullins, we're still in the lead on. No one else offering him a scholarship. We'll keep him at 300 for now. Mills, we're still in the lead. Everyone else is continuing to drop. That's what we like to see. Pitts, we are continuing to make a nice climb up. Anderson, we're dropping down because, I don't know, but I feel like we can climb up. We just have to hope Ball State doesn't offer a scholarship. Ryan Brown, we're now in the lead on him. Again, the only scholarship offer out there. Dennis Gray, we're continuing to drop now, so that'll probably be all she wrote for that. Mosley, I don't think we're going to have any chance that we'll take our 100 points back there. And we're going to go ahead and offer Brian Rich, as we need to start thinking ahead to a backup plan at center. And that would become Ryan Rich, I think. So we're continuing to climb up. Now we'll just get a scholarship offer and some extra points out there. And J.R. Brown, Akron's got a visit this week. I mean, I'm not going to offer him a scholarship. I don't imagine Tulsa or Oregon State will, because he's a 49 overall. But Akron, if you want him, you can have him. Workman, we have a visit in a couple weeks, and Ohio State's climbing up now for some reason. Why would they want 262 overall quarterbacks? I don't understand it. But it is looking like, Lewis and Workman are probably going to be dropping out here pretty soon. Unless I take some points off of somebody else to just offer them scholarships. It might not be a terrible idea, actually. We're going to take 50 each off of Potts and Mullins and just offer scholarships to these quarterbacks. See what we can do with that information. And the answer will probably be not a ton. But all we really need to do is just get one of them. So I'm not going to worry too much about it. And that'll do it for this week. I will see you guys in the next week. We'll see how the week went and see who won, check recruiting updates, and probably do one more week in this episode. So we'll probably get through week 12 would probably be a good guess. Alright, you can see we have another coach update. We are now level 6, and we will wait and see what we want to do with those points, I think. I want to wait and see what we do with that upgrade to assess recruiting and see if I need to put something into locksmith or not. We pick up a commitment from Jermaine Gallagher. That was a little bit unexpected, actually. I was thinking we weren't going to get him. But everyone else must have backed off. So I will certainly take the commitment from Gallagher. And we haven't been locked out by anybody else. Alright, so we took down Akron in the rivalry game. We got a 31-21 victory. We scored with 2:24 left to go up by 10 after we scored earlier in the or in the fourth to take the lead. So in the end, it's a pretty close game, but we are too much for Akron. They're 4-6. We improved to 5-3, and maybe we can make a bowl game this season. That would be nice. 500 yards of offense, 272 passing yards, 2 turnovers. And my guess is going to be this will be the week he finally commits. I think he'll commit to Pitt after this week. We've been long out of it. Just waiting to see where he ends up. It's sad he's not going to pick us, but hey, in the end, it is what it is. And there's the scholarship offer from Western Michigan. So Todd Kolp, we may have a little bit of trouble getting unless we can get in there and sneak a visit in the next couple of weeks. Robert Wallace, we now drop down 75. Wait, actually, that's less than last time. Never mind. We dropped down 80 the previous week. So, just waiting to see if we can hang on until his visit. Aaron Moore, Eastern Michigan's making a charge on now. They're continuing to climb up 25. We visited Central Michigan in a couple weeks, Eastern Michigan 2 weeks later. Here comes Tulsa now trying to make a move for Potts, so I would like to max him out again. And hopefully we can get a visit on him here pretty soon because I don't want to lose him to Tulsa. And Josh Rumph we're continuing to climb up on, so it'll be time to offer him or he has the scholarship offer. It'll be time to see what he does on the visit, rather, is what I meant to say. Chad Mullins, we're going to just go ahead and max him out now, I think. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do, so that's what we're going to do at this point. Just keep him there. See, we make the climb on Dave Pitts. We'll bump him up to 200. Anderson, we're continuing to drop, even though Ball State has not offered a scholarship yet. And we're still in the lead on Jenkins, so I haven't put anything into him, and we're still in the lead. Brown, we're still in the lead on. A bunch of these guys hopefully close to being ready to schedule their visits. Rich, we're continuing to climb up on. What do I want to do with Ben Lewis? I'm going to put 250 into Ben Lewis. Alright, I forgot we had our coach upgrade point right here, so we're going to wait to advance the week until we decide what to do, and I want to max out the visit, I think is what I want to do with that. Yes, we're going to max out Royal Treatment, and then we will rotate between the opener and the closer. And I think that's what I'm going to stick with. And it is official. Nicholas Wilson has made his decision. We've been locked out for a while, just waiting to see where he ends up going. He is going to Pittsburgh to become a Panther. We have a couple of recruits also ready to visit. And so Workman's ready to visit this week. One of the 62 quarterbacks we just offered a scholarship not too long ago. And we improved to 6-3 and 4-1 in MAC play by defeating then 6-3 UMass, now 6-4 UMass. And we won 24-13. We had a pretty successful game, I would say. We had 481 yards of offense. Hawley went 23 of 37, 311 yards, 1 score, 1 interception. Hawley also almost had 100 yards rushing and another touchdown on the ground. White had 10 catches, 176 yards in the score. So the passing game really showed up to play there. Cunningham had 1.5 sacks. Moore had half a sack. They both had multiple tackles for loss. Bear had 3 tackles for loss. An interception went to Marshall. And a forced fumble went to Bear. Did anyone recover the fumble? No one did, but still credit to Bear for forcing a fumble. Hines went 1 for 2 on field goal attempts. Alright, so our visit with Ben Lewis did not keep us in the race, so we're going to take our 500 points back right here. And do I try and max Sean Workman this week? I don't know. We'll come back to him. Rich, we're still climbing up on. He's not ready for a visit yet, obviously. Motley, we've sort of given up on now that Nebraska City's gotten into the battle. Dennis Gray, again, we're continuing to lose ground on. Brian Brown, almost ready for a visit. Jenkins, not ready for a visit, but that's okay. Anderson, we continue to drop. Pitts, we have now dropped down behind Western Kentucky. Mullins, I see Akron looking to offer him a scholarship, or looking to get back into it. We're going to max Mullins out and just really be sure to try and take advantage of this. Western Michigan with a Week 13 visit. We'll go with a Week 12 visit then. Get complimentary points from a visit with Sean Workman. And Robert Wallace, we are still in the battle. He visits this week. I'm just hoping it'll be enough to keep us in the hunt into the off season. And yep, here comes Tulsa looking to steal away Sean Potts. Hopefully we can get Potts in for a visit next week. Hopefully he'll be ready then, and we can really try and shut down Tulsa's charge at him. Ralph, we are now in the lead on following the visit, but I think he'll still go to the off season just because he won't commit before Ohio has their visit. And we still have 250 to work with. We'll go ahead and put 250 on Workman, I suppose, for his visit. See if that helps maybe get him ready to seal the deal. If not, it won't be too much harm done, and we can put him on somebody else next week. But for this week, we'll put points on to Workman, and we're going to advance the week, and we'll show any commitments, and I will show you the game results, and that's going to be it for this episode. So we're almost to the end of the season here. We're going to get through Week 12 and stop us there after we see how the game ends up and if we get any commitments. So we're going to go ahead and put it into the closer already, since we are into the latter half of the season. It won't do any good to put it on the opener. So we're going to go ahead and put points on the closer. We already know what we're going to do there. And we do get a commitment from Sean Workman. So it works. We get a commitment from Sean Workman, a quarterback we didn't even really try to go after. And so we are in pretty good shape, it looks like. And we beat Miami, Ohio 27-17. It was, again, another pretty close game, but this offense has been rolling here lately. Hawley, 21 of 34, 307 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Had 84 yards on the ground as well. Receiving-wise, Woods had 7 catches, 151 yards, 2 touchdowns. White had 7 catches, 75 yards and a touchdown. And yeah, just another impressive performance by this offense, and especially the receiving game. A fumble recovery for Robinson Jr. No one forced the fumble. It was just a fumble recovery, but being opportunistic never hurt anybody. Hines went 2 for 3 on field goal attempts. Todd Cole, we now have a 1,000-point lead on, but they visit Western Michigan this week, so we should be wary of that. And then they visit Eastern Michigan the following week, and so we are not out of the woods yet on Todd Cole. Robert Wallace, we climbed up on, but Temple's only 410 off. This one will probably go to the off season, but we have successfully at least taken Robert Wallace to the off season. and we're going to have to figure out what we want to do with our limited number of points. But Wallace will almost certainly have to be a top priority, as will Aaron Moore, I think. Aaron Moore's got to be someone we're going to have to take a good look at, too. And Sean Potts, there's the scholarship offer from Tulsa, but he's ready for a visit. He's coming in week 14. We can't schedule him for a visit this week, unfortunately. He's going to have to wait another week. We just have to hope Tulsa doesn't schedule a visit with him anytime soon. And then we just have to hold off their charge. And yeah, I mean, we just have to do what we can to stave off Tulsa. Chad Mullins is ready for a visit now as well. He's also coming in week 14 because that's the only game we have left. And Ohio's continuing to drop down on Ralph a little bit, but like I said, I still anticipate that one going to the offseason. Now with some bonus points to work with, we'll bump up Dave Pitts and Jerome Anderson. Actually, that's probably Jeremy. Jerome, I don't know. But we're going to max out both of them. We're going to almost max out Brian Brown as I see Toledo getting ready to try and get into it. So we're going to schedule him for a visit now. And Fred Haley, someone we didn't really try to get commits to Ball State. But commitment-wise, we're looking okay. Ryan Rich, we are now in the lead on, but look out, here comes Western Michigan again. We just don't have any points to use on him right now. I mean, worst case scenario, I can always move no, I'm still going to hold on to Dennis Gray for as long as we possibly can. We do pick up the commitment from Sean Workman, and so that's nice to see. That means we no longer care what happens with Ben Lewis, even though right now we're right in the thick of things. So maybe Ohio State will come in and end that in week 14. And Brown, again, I have no interest in signing him, but for some reason Akron does, and I don't understand it. But recruiting is starting to shape up. That will do it for me, and I will see you guys next time. Have a great day, everybody.